It was so hard in the beginning. It was like so bad. I wanted to throw in the towel so many times. Hey guys, welcome back to Mommy Scribbles. Today I'm going to be sharing some things about what I've learned since I started homeschooling. I mean, just for like a couple months, I put this child back into school for a couple months just because we both needed that time out. And it was good, actually. I didn't think I would ever put my kids back in school or anything, but I did for a season, for like 2 months. And it actually was very refreshing, and it kind of solidified that I did not want to have my kids in school. No matter how hard things got, I realized I don't want to have my kids in school, because in order for me to do my job as a mom, as a parent, personally, I just felt like I couldn't do it as effectively. When I first started homeschooling, I just saw all these different types of curriculum. I was like, oh my gosh, that curriculum is so awesome. I totally want to get it. Let me just buy everything. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you how silly that was, because I'm gonna be honest, I liked the curriculum and I still like the curriculum that I bought, but I don't use it. I use bits and pieces of the different curriculum that I got, but I don't use the whole thing. I got a lot of boxed curriculum. I also got random things that weren't boxed curriculum, and it was just specific subjects. I have tried so many different types of homeschooling products out there. I could sit here and name off all of them and tell you what I like about them and what I don't like about them. But if you want me to make a separate video about that, I will. Just let me know. But I am telling you, I wish I had known not to spend so much money on curriculum, that it wasn't going to be necessary to spend so much money on curriculum, because my kids learn even when I'm not teaching them. I can't believe how much my kids actually learn, even when we're not doing school, like sitting down doing school. It's crazy. It's pretty cool, but yeah. I have learned also that I need to prioritize my homeschool hours. In the beginning, I did not prioritize my homeschool hours. I would either be working, or I would have to go grocery shopping, or the phone would ring, or I would be in the middle of, I would end up on a conversation with somebody, and something had to get cleaned, or just something always came up, and I was like, oh, well, we'll just do this and we'll do school later. But school later never happened. So we ended up having to catch up on all of our stuff so that we could be on track, which was very stressful and wasn't worth it. And it felt like we were behind all the time. It stunk really bad. So if I had known that, well, I knew, okay, listen, I knew that I was supposed to prioritize my homeschool. I've heard it a million times from other homeschoolers saying that you have to prioritize your homeschool hours, but I just didn't do it. It took me 3 years to actually implement this. I tried a million times. I did, but in between moving and having a baby and doing all these other things, it just didn't work. I had so much going on in my life that homeschool just kept taking a back burner, to be honest. And, I hate to say that, but it did. Yeah. But I know that everybody has seasons, and we all have a time in our lives where school it needs to take a back seat for a minute, and real life has to kick in. And that's just the reality of the situation. Yeah. So another thing, I knew that I shouldn't do this because I've heard it before, but I tried. I tried to mimic school. I did. It was okay at first. It was great for the first couple of days, but then it was terrible. It took a lot of work too, a lot of energy. I mean, like, I had to be like this awesome, excited teacher, and I had to have so much energy for it. But having a baby and moving and all those other things that I had going on in my life at the time, man, it was just too much for me. So we ditched that idea of trying to mimic school very quickly. And then I would feel guilty and be like, oh my gosh, I'm such a terrible homeschooler. All these other people are doing so awesome, and me, I'm just failing at it. But then I realized that I wasn't failing, and that my kids were still learning and still on track and actually ahead of the game. So if you find yourself in this situation, just don't be hard on yourself, because yeah, and don't try to be school, because you're not. I am not a school. I say that I am on a piece of paper, but I'm not actually a school, because this is home. Home plus life. Well, home plus school plus life equals homeschool life, or something like that. Yeah, it's just, homeschooling is life. It's not, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's just life. It's learning. Every single day, every single moment is learning. We learn. It's pretty awesome. Something else that I tried to do that I wasn't that great at, and I knew what I was supposed to be doing, okay? I tried to set it up. I tried to set up a really good organizational system. Yeah. I watched all the videos, all the advice, and I just, ugh, I failed. I did not do good at that at all. It was terrible. I I even have work boxes and stuff. The work boxes, actually, I really like, but I don't ever keep it in order the way that it's supposed to be. It is a big mess. Usually, it's all of their school stuff is in a general area, so we know sort of where it is. Everybody has their own work box, which is great, and we put all their books in there, but it's not like labeled fancy. It's not labeled at all, actually. It's just we shove it in there as soon as we're done school, because yay, we're done school. We yeah. There have been times where my homeschool was so messy. I couldn't find anything. I had to start all over again. It was horrendous. Yeah. I actually hired somebody one time to clean my bedroom and organize my homeschool stuff, because my kids got into it one morning at 4 o'clock in the morning while I was sleeping, and they decided to organize their own stuff and be all like proactive and try to do all their schoolwork and taking the bull by the horns and do their own thing. Well, that was not good. Yeah. Yep, that was not cool. So, I'd like to know, are you a seasoned homeschooler? or are you new at this? Has there been anything that you've learned since you started homeschooling? I'd love to know. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's have a little chat about it, because I think we can all glean something from each other, even though there is a lot out there, and sometimes it feels like it's the same thing being said, but really it's just a little bit different. Until next time, keep scribbling.